beautiful guest here today because we speak regularly on the course and what's included, but we know it so well. It's like maybe we aren't transferring that information as well as we could.
Because I think no matter what, and after people have taken the certification, they're always, and I can guarantee you these words, blown away. They actually had no idea what they were spending the money on. I mean, they had an idea, obviously, but they're blown away with the business component of what's in the actual business pack. So whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're working full-time at another job, whether you have done this all your life, it doesn't matter. What is in this certification blows people away. So we're like, how do we ever tell people what's in it? Because people still don't get what's in it. So it's nice when it's
so today we're not going to.
We're going to let one of our beautiful facilitators tell you a little bit about herself and the course. And of course, we're going to just pow you with her words because we don't know her words yet, because she doesn't even know the questions we're going to ask her, because that's the best part of being an equine assisted learning.
So first and foremost, we love to know who's watching. I see Lisa has already put in a hi there. So good morning, Lisa. We'd like to give everybody a shout out to you. So pop into the comments. Yes. That's what they're called. Yeah.
Where are you from?
Where you're from, who you are. And then we would definitely always like to say hello to you as well. And of course, if you hear something today that boggles your mind or blows your mind, not boggles your mind. We don't want to boggle.
No.
Throw in that hashtag.
Holy jumping tuna fish. Or the little emojicons. We like those
we
as well.
Enjoy them as well. Of course, share this out, because even I know we have lots of facilitators who join us too.
I love that.
But this could help other people understand what it is that you do. So
it is very true. Like, as facilitators, share these out to people in your community, because sometimes they don't even know what that's what you do.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought it was just a horse thing. See, they don't get what it is that you do.
Yes.
That's why.
Of course, because sharing is in fact caring.
It's always caring. You know, it's so funny. Carolyn loves saying that line. And I don't understand why I get like annoyed with that line.
And I don't understand why. That's why I like to say it so much now.
Like, I
probably would have let it go some time ago, but she gets so irritated with it that I want to continually say it. This next piece too is another hashtag for you of we are life changers. And that's every single one of us, whether you are working with horses to help people develop life skills, whether you are a hairdresser, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a dad heading to work, it doesn't matter. Every single one of us is a life changer in this world. And a lot of that boils down to how we treat others and how we treat ourselves as well. So keep that in mind, because we are all life changers in this beautiful world.
Darn tootin' galootin'.
And of course, if you're catching this on replay, throw in that replay for us as well, so we can come back and say hello to you too. And I see we've got Colleen on here. We've got Michelle. Good morning, beautiful souls. Hello, back. Another beautiful soilless joint. Soil or soul.
Rounding.
It's all good stuff. Doing good so
I do
far
like
this
that.
morning. Yeah.
So, you know, before we begin this great little live with our beautiful Carrie, I know it's so bizarre. Carrie's area just everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Carolyn keeps laughing because of the way I wave. So I'm now becoming very self-conscious. Even when we started this little wave thing, I don't know what I do. It reminds me of at the time, I think she was in her 80s and we were curling. And she was curling with us in her 80s, and she'd be skipping down at the end. She'd go like this. So, of course, now I'm starting to think I wave like an 80-some-year-old.
For any of you who wants to know why I laugh so hard, we put up a bloopers video. I think it was yesterday. Go watch that, because that one will tell you there's one moment where we're trying to hold it together and we say, welcome back. And she goes, that's why I laugh every single time, because it brings up that lovely, fond memory.
Okay.
Anyhoodles. So
who are you?
Who am I? I am Carolyn. I am Carolyn Charles. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing, as well as an instructor and facilitator for the Equine Connection, the Academy of Equine Assisted Learning, Inc.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrie Fulmick, the founder of the Equine Connection, a master instructor, helping humans just like you globally around the world. Find your purpose in what you're wanting to do in life. Yep, that's right. It's big and it's profound. Why? Most people on this channel would be horse people. And it really is so cool, because purpose is a piece that we continually are searching for. Even though purpose we do all through our life. Once we breathe, we have purpose on earth. But it's finding that purpose piece and how do we help another human being? Because that's purpose.
Yes.
That's why we do what it is that we do. But not only helping another human, we actually do it with the horse as the literal teacher. We literally allow, with the welfare of the horse first, that is the foundation and the solid component to our certification, is the horse is literally allowed to teach, so that we as trained facilitators are able to do step-ins to help those humans to be empowered with their answers. We don't go around telling people what we think the horse is saying. We allow them through the process of all of these outrageously result-oriented programs that come with your certification.
Yes, absolutely. And even to talk about this a little bit more, our lovely guest is going to do that with us today as well. Carrie Ross is coming in, and she actually just finished her hands-on portion. Was that last week?
See,
yeah, Colleen was actually there as well to meet and greet, and she's got her certificate. She's ready to show all of you. So I'll let you know when people can see you, Carrie, and then you can show your certificate.
Oh, my laugh. I don't know. I tell you. Oh my goodness.
Actually, I'm going to bring you up right now, Carrie, because then we can just chat with you at the same time here.
And the one thing I wanted to tell you about Carrie, because I have a soft heart, not only for Carrie, but she is from Saskatchewan. Go Rough Riders, Gainer the Gopher. Now, I am true blue Saskatchewanian, or whatever you call ourselves, but I love being from Saskatchewan. I think Saskatchewan is so beautiful in prairie. I love driving through it, even though it's very flat. Prairies are freaking stunning.
They are.
So it's kind of nice having a little soulmate from good old Saskatchewan.
Yes, yeah. You can be the life partner on that side of things.
Now, you're from Regina. Now, here's the funny piece. Now, when Reagan, my youngest daughter, she's a teacher there in Regina, she went to Australia to do some nannying. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Okay. So she goes to Australia, and they say, "Where are you from, Reagan?" in their beautiful accents. And she goes, "From Regina." And they all kill themselves laughing because they don't hear the R. And of course, I guess it's also known as the city of fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh,
the Aussies loved it.
They love it. So she is always saying that now, and I think that's so funny. But anyway,
and Lisa says, "Yay, Saskatchewan, born and raised right here." We got Todd and Tanya on, and Heidi on as well. Good morning to you guys too.
Todd and Tanya, that is hilarious. Carrie and myself were just talking about the beautiful couple that you are and how you three have got to be connected, because Carrie Ross is outstanding in her facilitating. And I love it because her skills just bring it all to life.
Yes. But we can talk later.
Yeah.
Yeah. We won't do it over this platform necessarily, but we'll chat. So Carrie has just finished her 3-day, like we were saying, and we loved her words consistently about the course. Like it made me feel good. You?
All the time.
Yes. But I think just so everybody can get a background of who you are and what your background is as well, because it wasn't necessarily always that you've been doing horse stuff your entire life. No. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, lovely Carrie.
Sure. Well, thanks. And thanks for having me on today. I'm delighted to be here, and I can talk with passion because I totally believe in this. And just to give you a bit of my background, I was an entrepreneur. I actually owned 2 businesses many years ago, about 20 years ago. I owned a receptive tour company. And then my ex-husband and I bought and built a vacation farm called the Fieldstone Inn out by Capel Valley. We actually won Tourism Business of the Year. We beat up the Hotel Sask and Manitou Mineral Spas. Did some really amazing things. Absolutely loved it. All experiential, primarily Japanese that were coming in to stay with us. And then, of course, I started a family, and we sold our operations because it was 24/7, and I wanted to focus on our family. And then I had the great opportunity to actually take on a position with the RCMP Heritage Center when it opened up in 2006. And then I moved on just down the road to Government House, where I was executive director for 8 years, working with the Lieutenant Governor's Office and Government House, and just actually retired from government, from the Heritage Conservation branch. So in May of last year. So really what I've done is I've managed people. That's been my background, and tourism. In May, I found Equine Connection online because I was Googling. My husband and I bought a little acreage, literally 5 minutes from Costco, about 15 minutes from downtown Regina. And I knew in my heart, I always wanted to work with horses to help people. Am I a horse person? No, I'm not a horse person. I love them. I have so much to learn about them. I didn't even know how to tie a knot. That's not in your promotional information, but I learned how to tie a knot last week by Carrie, which is great because I wanted to do that for a long, long time. So anyways, my kids are both in university. I'm in that, mid 50s, kind of the empty nester, but I don't know if they're ever going to leave. But anyways, it's all good. So it was kind of a time to reflect, to say, okay, what do I really want to do? And, I love the people I worked with in the Heritage Conservation branch, but my heart wasn't in it. And I actually took a course with through Equine Connection. And I remember one of the TED Talk guys, he was this surfer guy from the States, talking about, if your head and your heart aren't in the same place, you have this constant kind of battle going on in your stomach. So I took the program in March, signed up with Carrie and Carolyn, took the online. And at first I thought, okay, online learning, how am I going to do this? I'm in Teams meetings all day, 8 hours a day. How am I going to do it? I loved it. They kept me entertained. And I tell you, I have an attention span of a gnat, like squirrel, and my head's going somewhere else. So Carrie's really interactive, her voice going up and down, all these changes, your bloopers that you do. It kept me entertained and it kept me learning. So I took it in March with a great group of gals, but my head, I'm being honest, my head really wasn't there, because do I retire from this really pretty good job in government? Do I take this big step? Do I actually do something that my heart really wants me to do? And then my kids said to me, Mom, what are you waiting for? And my husband, I'm like, I don't know. What am I waiting for? So after the course, I handed in my resignation with the government, and my DM, everybody's going, why are you leaving? Everything's good. I know it's good, but I don't love it. It's not me. So anyways, I started this journey, went through all this information, and I thought I was signing up for, an online class and a bit of in-person training. You are signing up for, I'm going to call it a franchise. And I know a lot of people have a positive and negative thought around a franchise, but there's so much more than just a learning component to it. Yes, you learn all the tools, but here's the thing. I went in March. My head really wasn't in it. I did absorb, and I was listening, Carolyn and Carrie. But when you're not really sure what you're going to do, you're not totally paying attention. They let me come back. So after the summer, I kind of digested all this, and then I got to go back and take this course again. No extra fee. The second time I took it, it all started to come together. Still, the dots were kind of all over, and there's so much information that's coming out to you. Then I got to go in and say, oh, there's workplace. You get to do this great thing called Miro, which if I only had this information the last 2 times I started my business, do you know how much money I would have saved? Because you need to know how we communicate and who we are communicating to. So Miro really kind of nailed it on the head of who I am. Type A personality. I love my task lists. I'm a driver. I got all those things. So how do I talk to people who are scientists, or how do I talk to people who are, that very analytical business person? So that was a great tool that we also got with this. So the more I dig into what we received for this online learning and hands-on learning through Equine Connection, it's huge. From, information learning about how you talk or speak as a communicator to the training videos. Okay, before I went to Strathmore last week, I'm like, okay, I really don't get this. So I started going through the training videos. I made a book. Yes, I did, because I'm a geek, of all the programs, and then the objectives and the outcomes. So on the way to Strathmore, I know you should be looking at the road, but I was looking at this. So you look down, memorizing all of that. So when I got to Strathmore, I actually felt like, okay, because I saw the training videos, I'm starting to understand it. And then Carrie does something to me, which I'm really grateful now, but she said, you know what, Carrie, you're going to facilitate today. I'm like, what? I don't even know what I'm doing with real people, real clients. So anyways, we went out there. First, I totally forgot the horse is standing right in front of me. 2, I kind of forget the, what's the objective we're going to do, but it's the best learning experience because she knew I was ready. I just had to be thrown in so I can remember and learn all these for when going forward. And I tell you, after I did that night, I reflected on all my mistakes because that's what humans do. We never look at the positive stuff. And I really thought, okay, I'm going to do this better tomorrow. And then the next day, I couldn't wait to get back in and do it again with my colleagues who were in the program with me. And then day 3, yes, all the dots started coming together. And I actually felt confident enough to come home and start putting my programs together, start building my business. Because I have to tell you, Carrie, I've been putting it off. And that little push me into the arena with horses, lots of people, facilitators. It was organized chaos, I have to say, but it gave me the ability to move on. So those are just a few of the things that a lot of you know. Sorry.
No, I was just going to comment, and I really love that. Yes, I always consider myself the mama bird, and the mama bird's responsibility is always to get the baby birds to fly. So that's right. It will always be a push out. I am not a coddler by any sorts. I am all about just do it. Don't feel good, do it again. It's a continuum. So I really like that you appreciate it. But I wanted to go back to one of the things you had said, because a lot of people say this too. I'm not a horse person. Now, we have to always be very careful in how we say that. I'm not a horse person, because in all reality, and I've even learned this from our beautiful trainers who are training horsemanship in a different way, because we're going more to connection and communication versus doing specific things that work for overall all horses. No, that it doesn't work that way anymore. But when we're horse people, and I always refer to all of us as horse people, because we're in the presence of a horse, we have a horse, we own a horse, we're a horse person. Even some of our trainers, they say you're a horse trainer, because no matter what, you're always training your horse something. You just want to make sure it's the stuff that the horses can think, act, and respond to, because that's who they are. They can only think, act, and respond like a horse. So how long have you had this dream? Like, even with working with horses, did you have horses when you were young, or did you get the bug when you were older to own horses? And how many horses do you have?
Well, I actually, when we owned the Fieldstone Vacation Farm, we had 8 horses, and we had a team of Belgians. So we did sleigh rides and what have you. So we did have horses, and that was my love. And then we sold the property, and I had kids, like a lot of people do, and life just got too busy. You know, I tried to take lessons, but it just juggling schedules and their sports and everything, it never really worked. So my whole goal, finding this little acreage that we found, was to get back into horses. And I fell in love with the barn more than the house, to be honest. So right now I have 4 horses. I have 2 horses that will be, I'll be using in my EAL program. I have a baby.
Working with,
not using. Yes, I know. See, always learning. And then I have a young one who is going to just be there for entertainment value. And Bentley, because he's quite a character. So yeah, it's just 4 horses, a little piece of land that's, only 10 acres, just outside of the city. So yeah, so I'm going to start off really small and just, again, build more confidence as I go along. And my 2 markets that I really want to work with is women and also corporate groups. So I'm going to start a lot of probably focus groups and just practicing on friends and family, and hopefully reaching out to Todd and Tanya, maybe if they ever need some help, or if they're willing to take on a trainee, I would love to come out there.
Right. Yeah, so we're already looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah, that's what they have said.
Yeah, it's in writing.
Good. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not even reading the chat. So yeah. So I'm here to, because I've kind of rattled on, because I'm just super excited about this program and everything it has to offer. But please ask any questions that you have of me and, my journey. And I'm still learning. And you know what? I haven't even gone through everything that we've got, because there's so much stuff, right? And it's good stuff. Like I was asking Carrie, well, do you have some examples of how to customize for corporate groups? She goes, well, I think that's in your business package. I said, yeah, I bet it is. I haven't even gone through it. Yeah, like fully, So yes, please open up the questions, and I'll be happy to answer anyone I can or help them out. But I do, until maybe, Carolyn, if you can tell me if a question pops up, that would be great.
Well, for sure.
No,
Because
I
one of
love
the
that.
other, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing in the meantime that I think is really cool, especially from your background, and you have managed people and worked with people, and you must have been pretty good at it. You don't get to that level
just because you're a lazy person.
Yeah, you must have been pretty good. I think it was really interesting that even the communication side and the communication assessment, you still found super valuable even after that many years. That to me is impressive. Like
it is
still, and you are that lifelong learner, obviously, that's willing to take in those different pieces of information. But I love that you still found so much value in even the changeover from teaching to facilitating and with different communication styles, because that is something that's really important when we are facilitating people. But even at your level, you still found a difference in that.
And I think to add to that, I'm in a different place in my life. So my role has changed, right? So it's different than when I was, younger and doing a different type of business. So yeah, I think your my role changes as you grow and get life experiences, which is, I think, a benefit to all of us. That's what makes us also unique is, kind of our past and how we've learned. But yeah, I've managed teams my whole career and done a lot of change management, which I really, really love. And now I get to work with these amazing animals together and help people, which is really, I was pinching myself coming home. I said to my husband, this is my career path going forward. It kind of hit me in the car driving back from Strathmore. I'm like, I'm really doing this. It was really great. So,
so with the even talking about the communication piece, because I think we're very, very proud of that in our certification. And I know we're one of the very few who offer this. There's so many things that make us so different than other certifications. But how would you even explain, like, I know we've talked, you have to understand who you are and what you need from communication. Then you have to be able to be a professional and also understand your clients and what it is that they need in communication. And I think that's where the Myro really, bridges that all together. Is that the way you would say it? Bridges it together?
Yeah, that works.
But in layman's term, what would it be that is huge for you? Because did you really understand what you were going to be doing when you got this certification?
No. I'm being honest. EAL, like I've read up on it, but I think you both know I'm a super visual learner, right? And until I was actually seeing it, and when we had the folks in from the Dream Center and their aha moments, it just clicked to me. And I think Carson said to me, well, once you come and do the live training, all the dots will come together. But what I love about this program is lifelong learning for just us as individuals and for, the horses that we get to work alongside with and then the people that we get to help. I think communication is key. I've managed people for 25 years. Every issue, opportunity, or challenge I've had has to do with communication and how you say it, how they say it. And now in the world of this online craziness, you miss all those social cues. You miss all that part of it. So Myro has been really, really good for me to take again. And another thing that I really love, and I wanted just an example that happened yesterday in workplace. You start your own business, you're on an island. Like sometimes you're all by yourself. Well, with Equine Connection, you got this great thing called Workplace. So I was just talking to my husband the night before saying, okay, how should we set up our business? He goes, well, I don't know. We'll talk to the accountant. We'll figure it out. The next morning, I can't remember the lady's name from Australia, put something in the work chat saying, Carrie, I just need to throw some things past you, or team. She sent it out to everybody. How do you set up your business? So next thing you know, they're chatting back and forth. There's how they suggest they set up their business. And so 6:30 in the morning, I send it to my husband. First thing he arranges in the morning is how we should possibly set up our business. So little nuggets like that, you don't get that when you're starting your own business by yourself. It's lonely. I made so many mistakes that cost me a lot of money. How do I get my stuff printed off? I called Jan. Jan's going to create these beautiful presentation pieces thanks to Equine Connection. So there's just so much added value that doesn't come across when you think you're just signing up for a certification, right? It's so much more deeper than that.
And I love hearing these things because people like yourself, and we have over 400 facilitators, and we don't do tons a year in certifying people. But, you know, we've got our beautiful family, our beautiful herd, like-minded people. We all have that same goal and purpose in mind, welfare of the horse and helping a human to be empowered. But you spend a lot of money to get your certification with us. Like, that's where it amazes me that you're like, sure, let me spend like $7,000, $8,000. No problem. Don't even know exactly what it is I'm going to do or get, but it's something that I believe is bringing me further. And then you're blown away with, what? I get this? What? I get that? What? I don't understand how I can have all of this. And then you guys say it's like worth $25,000.
I think there's,
but you don't know it.
Yeah, I think there's an expectation level for the cost of the course, right? So that you're going to get a good course. But then the fact that people are blown away still, even with that, like, because it's not a small ticket item. Well, and there's reasons for that, obviously, but people are still blown away by it. Exceeds their expectations, I think, is one of the things that you said to me during the course, is that like you had the expectation of what you should get for that. And then there was what you got for that. And that was something that kind of blew me away too. I was like, well, that's a very valid point.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's the return on investment. And as a mom, putting 2 early 20s students through university and paying for every single thing, when we turn around, there's another invoice coming. The fact I could come back, because, you know, I was still unsure in March when I was taking this, and taking it in October, and that was part of the price I already paid for. Huge value. You know, having Colleen and, you know, oh my gosh, Tracy come last week, you know, and still view the in-person. If I can do that a year later, just to maybe do some tweaks on stuff, great value, because then that just makes me hopefully a better facilitator, because there's so much to learn. And that's what I love about it. And, you know, I say I'm not a horse person, but I am a horse person, because I thought, oh, going to carries is going to be different, working with different horses. It wasn't. It was the same thing, you know, and it just made me again think, okay, I am a horse person. And what I did with my horses at home, I did with carries. I got the same result. Right. So, yeah, so there's tons of learning. I can't say enough about the network, because, especially in leadership, because I say this a lot to my teams. And, you know, when I worked with the ADMs and deputy ministers, leadership is lonely. Owning your own business as a proprietor is very lonely. And your family only wants to hear about it for so long. And then they kind of shut you off. Right. So here's a team, throw things out there. And support. Oh my gosh, I've never seen so much support, right? Because we're all trying to help everybody be successful. And to me, that's awesome. And that's a great brand. I want to be involved with that brand, right?
Great.
Oh, I love that, because that's so true. The more we all collaborate together, the more we help each other, the more we share our secrets, the more each of us win. And not only as business people, as entrepreneurs, as a way to make a living, but be able to work with our horses, but all of the clients who are waiting for us, they need us. These humans need us so bad. It's not even funny. It is one of the most profound ways for a human to learn, because it's their journey. It's their way to be empowered. It's not, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. We as the professional just have to understand, how do we have the beginning, middle, and the end? How do we parallel so that there's always a result? Because everything's been designed with those predictable outcomes. So if we follow that form of delivery, those humans always walk away with, I'm taller, I'm bigger, I am gifted, I am special. Why? Because the horse told them so, not because a human did.
And I love too that you're going in, you know, the corporate side of things is a plan that you have there. And then you also have the women's side of things, which the facilitation is different for how you're going to go with different groups of people, like the appropriate application of that sort of thing. But I love that you can still see how you can take those programs and they work for both parties. It's just switching out how we facilitate, right? Like people ask all the time, well, could I do that with this group, or could I do that with that group? The sky's the limit, really, as long as you know who it is you're facilitating with and you communicate with them, going back to that Myro, in the proper way so that they can really get it for them. And it's not as if they're maybe walking away thinking that their whole life has changed from a corporate, but as it trickles down from what it's going to be in a corporate atmosphere, it does change their entire life because they're figuring out a different way to do things.
No, absolutely. And another thing that I really like, because I just left the Heritage Conservation Branch and managed 15 scientists, right? Archaeologists, people who, an architect, like, so very analytical. So my whole life was tourism. It's very, very much like Carrie's, they're drivers, they're my types of people. And then I went to manage a very analytical group. And I had to completely change how I talk to folks. So even with some of the corporate folks, because we're selling a non-tangible service, they can't sometimes touch it, feel it, you have to show them. And that's my husband. I'm married to a very analytical, he's a business guy, very analytical. So you've given us that research piece to support these programs. So not only are you learning, but this has been researched. You do it this way, this is going to be your outcome. How often as a new business owner do you get that? It's trial and error lots of times, and it's dollars spent. And that's how you build your way out. Where this has been done, it's like the path has already been driven. So we are going to go down this path, but we could still tweak it to make it special for us, right? Or for our clients. So, yeah.
So true. The business in a box, we've talked about this so many times because, again, all facilitators are beyond blown away when they see what's in the business pack. And again, people sometimes will say, well, I don't need a business pack because you see, I am already an entrepreneur, or I don't need the marketing. I think people think you're getting some brochures and some
like some templates.
Templates. Like they don't get it. And I know we were thinking about this because it is like a franchise. And anyone who understands what a franchise is, that means a Timmy's, a Tim Hortons, or a Starbucks more or less looks the same globally around the world. It's the same idea of even this equine assisted learning with the Equine Connection. It's that same setup that we have the same form of delivery. We have the same programs. We have the same way that we deliver anything with our appropriate application. But the franchise idea usually costs tons and tons of money because a Timmy's or a Starbucks, you have to pay a certain fee back to the creator, the one who originated the idea of what it's going to look, to use that brand. But there's no extra fees. There's none of that. But understanding, like even from a person who doesn't really understand franchise, how would you explain that to someone? Because it's not a business pack full of paper. This is this is
blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, over 1,000 items and videos and agreements and things that you say to your clients. And it's just so much deeper. It doesn't matter how long you've been an entrepreneur. This is gold. It's gold. But again, how do you explain in layman form what this is? Because I don't know.
Because that's how we explain it.
I don't know. I don't know how you explain it to others.
You use your words.
Business in a box. That's what we got.
It is business in the box, but when I think about this is my management brain of, working in the government of Saskatchewan, it's so outside the box, right? Because this makes you think innovatively, and there's so much more. And it's a really tough one because, it is that franchise because it's so much more than just, a certification, a course you take, which we've all taken those. You get your certification, you're done. You got a couple of nuggets and you move on to the next one, right? Where this is really deep. You got a network, you got all kinds of educational resource materials, you've got waiver forms, you've got samples, you've got little bookmarks that you can give away of your own team to customize it. And so you don't have the franchise fees. And also with the franchise, you're restricted, right? Like you're pretty restrictive what you do. Like we still are going to do the form of delivery. Exactly like, how you've taught us to do it. But maybe I want to add a tourism component to it. Maybe I want to add something in my local community to it to customize it for myself. Lots of times with franchise, you can't do that, right? So I don't know what the magic word is. I wished I could come up with a magic word, but I don't think there's one word. Yeah, because there's no
outside the box business package. I don't know either. Because you're right. It's just people don't get it just from a saying, and they don't get it just by saying there's 1,000 items. But what are 1,000 items? Like it's so detailed. It's definitely not here's and pamphlets and how you do social media, because we can learn that as we go, right? Because social media changes every week.
It's not Googleable items, I think is what the difference is. Like you can't, the stuff that we have in the business pack, it's not something that you can Google and say, I want this for equine assisted learning and it's going to pop up. This is stuff that's created and directly tailored to it too. So maybe ungoogleable
items, I must say, in the business pack.
That one I'm going to have to practice. It's not rolling. Googleable.
Well, it's so funny because being an entrepreneur, and of course I'm always doing spreadsheets. I always do business plans. I'm always looking for what's our now, but I'm always preparing for future because you always have to do that. Being an entrepreneur is just smart. And, you know, I was looking at it by the time, let's say you pay, I don't know, $7,500 or $8,000. Maybe that's what you paid for your course. I don't even know, Carrie. It doesn't matter. So then I look at it for how many years you're going to be with us. So over the course of, okay, 3 years is going to cost you this much a year. If you take the whole amount and you're dividing it amongst the years. And I think it's when you get to the 5th year, I'm like, well, by cracky, we're paying you now to be in the business. So you might have initially paid to come in, but then it's like we start paying you because the value is continually there.
I love this from Erica too. She threw in the holy jumping tuna fish outside the box, business in a box. Yes, totally ungoogleable.
That's our new line. I love it.
It's ungoogleable. Oh my God.
Yeah, it is. And something you also offer too is the additional add-ons for continuing our learning, because this is lifelong learning. And I think that's what I love about it, because you're constantly, and like the training videos, or I can buy Authentic You, or I can, all these extra modules. And I know I didn't come to the conference and I do regret it because I hear how awesome it was, but I can't wait to go next year because I really think sometimes we got to get out of our bubble. And that's something when I was in tourism, when I did those, you know, those trade shows or those conferences where I put some investment into my PV, I came back and I was on fire. But I found sometimes you just get dragged down in your own, I don't even know how to explain it, but just too much stuff. You need to get out, get with like-minded people like Equine Connection and learn. And then you come back and look at things differently. So looking forward to the conference next year.
You do. It's a really refreshing feeling because I feel that being an entrepreneur, there's lots of heaviness components. I always say it's like we're the Maytag repairman in so many different ways, right? Because it is lonely sometimes where you're at, or you do it so much you can't see the forest through the trees anymore. And, you know, a conference is something that's so refreshing. It wakes you up. It wakes your soul, your passion up again so that you have that fire to move on for that next year. And again, still be with us in workplace for the continuum, because that's what we do. We stay together because that's how we move forward together.
And I think especially after these last 2 years, it's been heavy, man. Like this is heavy, man.
I'm tired.
But this is the time that we do need to come together. And I think that's even with the We Are Life Changers hashtag. That's something like we can all connect on. And we need those pieces of connection in our lives. And especially as facilitators, we're pretty niche market, right? Like there's not gazillions of us out there. So when we do come together, it's such a refreshing thing because you know what I do and I know what you do. And we all have to do it. And there's horse race, right? And it's just the bestest feeling ever to be with those same people.
It's so true.
I got really excited about that.
You did. There was passion there.
I felt it. I love the people.
Good balance. You should show us your certificate, Carrie, because from the beginning, she says, can you see the certificate? It took Carolyn and her 5 minutes to figure it out. Look at that is gorgeous. I mean, we made it and we know it's gorgeous, but you went even further and got it framed already. Like you just left us.
Yes.
You just left us
on Friday. And yesterday I went to, where did I go? Michael's. Picked up the frame I wanted, and now it's up on the wall. So very, very proud to have that. But I know it's only the beginning. Like, you know, a lot of times you get the certification and you're like done. I feel like I got the certification and I'm starting. Is that bizarre?
Right? Yeah. No, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
that's a good one.
I am pretty excited. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I love that Heidi put this into. I want to do a conference partly because of COVID, but I really need to physically see my like-minded family of fellow facilitators. Isn't that true?
It is very true.
Even this 3-day, that hands-on portion is so lovely. like, you know, the way of the world, there's other ways to do it as well. But just having that ability to learn from the horses and feel what your clients are going to feel, it puts you in a totally different place mentally as to, oh, I remember doing that. And I remember that was hard or whatever else too. So it is that nice piece of being together.
I like that. And I also really appreciate the appreciation you also have with us creating those new modules, because, you know, it's so much work in brain work to keep that, you know, that predictable outcome, not spectrum. What's the word I'm looking for?
Objective and form of everything.
How it's created.
And profound.
I know, right? It seriously was.
The programs are more profound than that.
Totally. This is us, everybody. Yeah. This is us normally.
Welcome.
And every day. So just so you know, we are super professional, but we're very goofy. So we just have to live with these things. But, you know, the Family Herd series to me was a huge accomplishment. And that came after we all had to go into lockdown for COVID, because families need us so bad. And then creating a family program that was just for one family to come and, you know, get that connection, and communication is in everything, right? Because if we don't talk, we go to depression, we go to drugs, we go to other things for something that's going to satisfy us. So the Family Herd and building men's workshops, that's our newest one that we've just created.
So in love with it.
Men are so beautiful and they're so wonderful, and they've got tons of stress, just like us women. That's why we created the Authentic You Women's Workshop. But we got to look after the men too, because they got a lot going on their shoulders. Are they able to just go and talk to people? No, not necessarily, right? So it's really cool to create this one too, and this one's super fun. They're all designed in such a way that these men are going to come and know their gifted selves, but in such a fun format. Because again, when we laugh, we have beautiful endorphins coming in. It really makes us feel good about who we are. And then of course, the horses always magnify the gift in each of us. And I think that's what's outstanding for men to be able to come in.
And the cool thing is too, is nothing like, if you don't want to get Building Men, you don't have to. You've got your beautiful curriculum programs. You can still do whatever you want with them. If you want to create something with yoga, or like you said, with tourism or something else like that, you can do all those pieces too, or just get the package, right? So it's up to what people want to do with it. But there's never any, you know, we don't call you up every 6 months and say, we need this fee or you need that. It's just part of being with us and the other options that are available to you.
And
Absolutely.
One of the things I want to add about the add-ons too is the flexibility of what's happening a year out. Like, who would have ever thought COVID would be COVID, right? Not in a million years. So a lot of the programs that I see that you've developed are, you know, for, you know, how do we help people get through this really bizarre time in our lives? Like, we're lucky. We have these beautiful animals that we can work with every day. But, you know, a lot of people in the city, they can't. Like, when I was managing my team for a year online, I didn't see 15 of my people, right? It was only online. You lose that connection. So, you know, the program with the men and, you know, some of the Family Herd pieces that became that you created for COVID, I think that shows what type of business this is how adaptable it can be going forward, depending on what our market or you know, society's needing.
Absolutely.
Wow, beautiful.
And that's very well said, because it is, we have to adapt, right? There's nothing in life that always stays the same. And this comes from a girl.
She don't like it change.
You know, like it changing. I just don't enjoy it in life. But the fact of the matter is the only thing that's consistent is that everything's always changing. So really, to be able to run this kind of business, you have to be up on what it is that people are needing right now. You look at the addictions, skyrocket, mental health, rock bottom places. You gotta repeat.
I know. I'm stopping myself.
Yeah, I say things and then she repeats one word of it, just to really get it.
On the exclamation mark. That's right.
But all of the mental health issues that are coming out, there is a lot going on with people, even kids having to learn different pieces of communication again, because lack of having that initial body language reading from faces and stuff. Like, there is a lot going on that will need to be addressed for years to come as a result of this world.
No, you're right. And I love that you talked about that, because I'm not sure, it might have been my daughter, but she said, you know, kids can't even see the pronunciation. How do you learn without not seeing? Like, you're visual, I'm a visual. If I don't me the word you're saying, I don't hear it. And I can't say it. I mean, I have a tough enough time saying a word as it is, even being able to see something, right?
It's so funny because that's exactly what she does. And she doesn't. She zeroes in
I
on your
do.
mouth.
Say that word again.
Say it again.
Yeah.
And then she holds it with you.
Yeah, I do.
But there's a lot going on in this world, so it's good that people like yourself can see that too. Is that it is the adaptable piece, and this can be applied not only with the packages that we're rolling out with, but just working with horses to build life skills. Life skills everybody needs. Everyone. You can be the most successful, high-fluting person in the world. You got the bestest job, but I can tell you, you're going to need to learn more about communication at some point. Because we all do. Right?
Yeah,
it's always there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so much depression too. Okay, I don't like to end on that note.
No.
So we're gonna. What should we end with, Carrie?
I just have to say, I kind of like what I did say about the certificate is, at most courses you take, it's the end. Well, this is totally the beginning. And do I know everything? Do I have a clear, my path is pretty clear, but yeah, like there's still so much more to go. And I think, step outside your comfort box or your comfort zone, and, move forward. And cause and it's not going to be perfect when you do your first time, like facilitating a group, but you'll learn from it. And I just want to say to reach out to everyone, anyone ever has a question or wants to collaborate on something, I am here. And I'm so excited to work with this amazing group of people. And I have so much more to learn. And I look forward to being on this learning journey. And I can't wait to actually facilitate my first group. I'm nervous, but I always tell my kids, if you're not nervous, you don't care. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. And people, if you have people
out there,
if you have questions, do put them in the comments of this video too, because then I can tag you, Carrie.
Yeah.
And you can go in and answer those as well. So that way, if you're watching the video on replay, throw in your questions.
And it's so profound, or not even profound, but it's so valuable when you can actually speak with someone who's literally taken the course instead of us just telling you about the course, even though we know it's super duper, super califragilistic, fabulous. We understand that. But hearing it again from our team members, because you all take away those value pieces. Like, I love the learning journey. I have written that down too. There we go. I have written down your words, Miss Carrie, because you're so wise. And not only do you come and learn through us, right? But we also learn from each and every one of you, and we value the gifts that every one of our team members brings to us, because we never know enough. We'll never have enough knowledge of anything. What was the line you used the other day? This is the line we're going to end with.
That we're stupid?
Yeah.
So the recognition that we are stupid is a beautiful thing, because if we recognize it, humbles us to the point that allows us to always gain more information. So it doesn't make us stupid in the game from information we've already gained. It's the recognition that of all of the information in all of the world that we possess is nothing. And therefore, we must continue to always learn. And that humble piece of knowing that we know nothing is what will get us to be much smarter people.
Darn tootin' galootin'. And one last thing, of course, is I always love our beautiful life changers, because you're all life changers. Each and every one of us, each and every one of our animals that changes a human's life. And you never know what human it is that you are changing. So always be very aware of who it is that you are. Give that smile, give that touch, give that inspirational piece, as Carrie has just done. But remember this too, you're going to die. Now, I like to end with this because, it's not because of the world we're living in. I've actually always
said this for years.
I have lived my life this way. Even as a motivational speaker, I always spoke about you're going to die. Because the reason is, I feel sometimes as humans, we forget that we're going to die. So then what it does, it makes us not live. Because we forget that our fragile little life, which goes by in a blink of an eye, we're forgetting to do that heart and mind connection that Carrie was talking about earlier. This is what fills us as a human. We are driven to be on a journey of learning, but it's got to be something that's making the whole being of who we are come to life. And there isn't many people who make a dream come true. There just isn't, because people find it too hard, or they don't persevere, or maybe sometimes they use money that, oh, I can't because I don't have money. Well, there's always ways. There's always fear. But when we understand we're going to die, and this is in the most best way. I know it's really profound, but I really feel it helps us to live, and then it keeps us like a horse, because a horse doesn't think of past or future. As humans, we have prefrontal cortex. We think a lot about future, and it doesn't exist yet. Because just like Carrie said earlier, if any of us would have known COVID was coming to knock us all down, we would have denied it. We would have never known. And this is what life is. You don't know what the future is. So live it now, because I'm sorry, we're all going to die. Every living thing on earth dies. Be more aware of it so that you live your everyday. Because I might only have today left. I don't know. I could get kicked in the head. I could just drop dead. We have no idea. So it's good that we live in our moments, as she's giggling away.
I do. Yeah. I could die right after this, because it would be really inconvenient for you to die during it.
Yeah.
Right. So after.
Although then you could see how strong my words are, because I would be gone.
Everybody would be like, I'm never talking about death again. She talked about it too much. Now she's dead.
But I don't know why we're here, but
I don't either.
It's just, I hope that is a gift, as something that you can even think of within your own being. Remember, you've got a beautiful gift inside of you, but live in your now, because you really don't know your future and the past. It can help us to move forward on the journey that we're called for. And purpose is helping humans.
Carrie, thank you so much. Clearly, I love Colleen. I hope I have 15 Christmases.
That's right, Colleen.
That's an inside joke from the course.
Yeah. You only get to hear it when you come.
But thank you so much. And you can tell how comfortable we are with you, because this was really just like a chit chat, which was quite lovely.
Having coffee.
Coffee together. Coffee with many of our friends around the globe, which is lovely. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing your thoughts about the course too, and letting us, basically tell you yesterday that we'd like you to do this, and you just hopped right on with it.
Yes.
So thank you so much for doing
amazing.
that.
You're
no problem. Thanks for having me. And I just want to end. I can talk about it because I love it and I believe in it. So head and my heart, like, it's all working together with Equine Connection and the way I'm going forward. So thank you. Thanks, everyone.
We're so happy.
Thank you. Have an amazing week.
Everyone have a
wonderful
week as well.
Yeah. Yes. Keener.
Yeah.
Thanks. You see, we get excited in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
I don't think other CFL teams get the excitement that the Rough Riders do.
Not me personally.
No.
Anyway,
okay.
Thank you again so much, everybody. We will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. And we can't wait to what?
Aren't we doing Cuba next week?
Well, that'll be a surprise.
Really?
Well, you want to?
I think they should be changed. You should be dressed for it next week. Who wants to go on a vacation? Yeah.
Oh,
we do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. From the comfort of our own home.
We are making it happen. Let's all go to Cuba next Wednesday and come as you would on your vacation.
Bring an umbrella drink. It's okay. It's 9 a.m.
Yes. Do not bring coffee unless it's filled with something else in an umbrella, because that is what makes having a vacation happy. Is you have an umbrella in your drink. It just makes you feel like you're in a different place.
Maybe we should do like a little, this is just flying off the top of my head now. Maybe we should do like a little thing. If you guys post your picture in the comments, we'll enter you to win something.
Yeah, let's do it. So everybody come ready for a vacation next Wednesday. Same time, same place.
And Carrie, now we know you're available. So we'll be expecting your picture. I like this. Lisa
Thanks,
says
everyone.
Thank you. Have a great one.
Right.
See you all
remember,
next week.
Yeah, and remember, each and every one of us we are life changers.